So I've been sitting in this car for about maybe 15 minutes thinking about how I wanted to start this video, and there's really no exact good way to start the video. So about 6 months ago now, I made this video right here, okay? And basically in this video, I'm really just explaining my goals and my ambitions. All right, so a little bit about me. I'm 24 years old. I used to play soccer in middle school. I played one season, a really good season. Then after that, because of money and all those other things that I count into it, I had to stop playing. In the summer of 2023, I took a course on soccer again, and I instantly fell back in love with the sport. And it was at that time, not really at that time, but it's when the idea started formulating in my head is that this is a sport I really want to come back to, something I really enjoyed and something I was really good at. And it's really honestly something I never should have left. I decided that I wanted to play professionally, basically at any level. Of course, the goal with anybody when it comes to something like this is to reach the highest level you can reach, which in the US is the MLS. But you also gotta be realistic and practical with this goal. So instead of just shooting straight for the top, I said, let's start at low and then build our way up. So my goal for this was, despite my age, despite my level of experience, despite my lack of exposure in the sport throughout all this time, I was gonna go for making a team in the MLS. And after a year of training, mainly by myself and while working a full-time job, I had about maybe 5 or 6 lessons with a professional coach. Shout out Luca. I just went at it every single day, basically nonstop, you know. I tried out for a UPSL team and I made the second team with North Georgia United. I want to be very clear that when I went for this tryout, I didn't go with the expectation of thinking, yeah, I'm gonna make this team. But on the same token, I didn't go in with the expectation of thinking that I wasn't going to make it either. I try to go with a very open mind, just really there to experience and learn and do the best I could do regardless of what the results will come out to be. If you don't start, you're never going to be ready. It's not just going to come up to you for the perfect time, you know. There's that saying that there is no perfect time to plant a tree, right? You plant it when you planted it, but the best time to do it will be that same day you think to plant it. So, you know, it just makes me think that if I hesitated and I didn't go along with trying to make this audition regardless of knowing the fact that I'm not ready and knowing that I'm not as good as the other players and everything else, then I never would have been ready and I wouldn't have made the team as I did, despite everything else that plays into it. And so sometimes it's really hard to think about and believe that my first goal for my journey to become professional, my base level goal was to make the UPSL, and I've done that. But now that I'm here, I gotta be careful not to get complacent, not to get lazy, not to get caught up in the fact that I didn't make it, because now there's more work to do. And with stuff like this, you have to be very careful, like when you hit those goals, because after you hit those goals, it's super easy to just get absent-minded. There's more to do, but mentally, like in that place when people usually hit their first set of goals, their mindset shifts to, now there's not much else to do. But there's still more, there's still higher for me to reach. All right. One of the biggest things that my coach would tell me when I train with him is that you gotta get on a team, you gotta play, at least do some pickup games, you know, do what you can, because just training by yourself and with the coach is not going to give me the development that I want to reach. It's not going to take me as high as I could go as essentially a late bloomer in the sport. And now that I'm here, as I've already said like 10 times, I think, is that there's only so much higher to go. You know, I'm on the second team in the UPSL, and that's a great thing. But I'm not in the greatest position with the second team, if that makes sense. If my goal is to get seen, right, by a team, then I need to get on the first team for this premiere. I need to get on the first team. That's what that next goal is. I have to be actively working towards each of those goals and not get caught up with the fact that I'm just here on the team. You can't grow without any challenge. And now even though I'm not technically, you know, in a technical aspect at that level to meet that challenge, playing with and against these other players will get me to where I want to be. You know, we're starting from a low point, and that is how it has to be. But from this low point, you can only get higher from there. And you know, at the end of the day, despite whatever mistakes I make on the field or doing training, professionals make the same mistakes. And yeah, they make them on a different level. You know, they don't make them as often, but their mistakes are still there. So, like Ronaldo, Messi, Tiare, who else have I really looked at? It doesn't matter, but y'all know the players. Like a lot of these players have said, it really comes down to the mentality. So if I allow what I think to hold me back, then physically it's going to affect me on the pitch too. So playing against players who are better than me, more experienced, who have a higher level IQ in the sport, it doesn't scare me, because at the end of the day, I know that because I'm here being challenged in this way, I'm going to be able to meet that challenge. There's really no way. Okay, it's a sink or swim situation. Either I meet the challenge and the intensity that's needed for UPSL and to move up to the first team and to be part of the starting lineup for the first team, or I sink. And shit, I've been in enough cases where I've almost drowned before in actual pools. I'm not gonna let this take me out. The visions I can see for myself, like the goal I've been working towards, that I think about every day while trying to get where I want to be, is just so much closer now. There's nothing holding me back except myself, and I'm not gonna allow myself to hold myself back anymore. I really have no doubt that I can keep moving up. I'm not gonna come at this with the expectation or the thought process that I'm gonna make it in the MLS. It's not impossible. It's a very small chance, like a small margin to slip in there, but it's not impossible. So when I'm looking at this, it's like, okay, maybe MLS won't happen. It just is how it is. But maybe the USL can, USL 2, USL League 1, USL Championship. Maybe those can happen. It just depends on how I approach myself as an individual on and off the pitch, how I approach the game as a player, and how I develop my knowledge of the game and my skill in the game. Everything really just comes down to me. At the end of the day, people could say it's impossible, it's difficult, it's hard, it's this and that, or whatever in between. But nothing else matters more than what I'm willing to do on and off the pitch, and how I'm willing to approach it in the mental aspect. So, if nothing else, if anything else, like from the video I posted like those 5-6 months ago, there were people saying that, well, if you're gonna do it, now I might as well try it too. And that's like pretty much the whole goal of this channel, me making these videos, to show that you really put your head down and grind into this shit. Like you're gonna make it. You may not make it to exactly where you want you to be, but you're gonna make steps towards that. And depending on how things go, you'll be there. Like the real work really starts now. And I don't know where exactly it's gonna take me. I don't know if I really will hit my goals and make it through the spring season. But at the end of the day, I'm here. And since I'm here, let's gonna do all that we can. So for all you guys watching this, I hope you guys are working towards your goals. Okay, not just watching me. You guys are really going out there and getting it. Just doing the best you can, despite what the results are going to be, and just working as hard as you can work to make those dreams a reality. Don't just sit there thinking about them and dreaming. All right, daydreaming won't get you anywhere. You gotta work for it too. I'm not religious. I grew up religious, but I'm not religious. And one of the biggest things that's always put in my head is that faith without work is dead. Faith without works is dead. You believe it. You can dream about it. You can envision, imagine as much as you want to, but if you're not putting in the necessary steps, you're not putting yourself out there, you're not exposing yourself, even when you feel like you're not in position to where you can expose yourself and get something from it, you won't get anything at all. So I hope you guys are working towards it. I hope you guys do it, because that's the only way you can get it done, is by doing it. Anyway, that's enough rambling. I didn't really plan this video out, so I really just talked in circles a lot. So if you guys enjoyed this, please leave a like, leave a comment, and maybe if you're willing to subscribe, because it is free and it helps me out. And I just want to say a last thing. All the engagement and attention that my last video got is really one of those things that mentally pushed me to be like, you gotta do this. Because I can talk as much as I want to, but at the end of the day, if I'm not putting my foot where my mouth is, it's gross, I'm not gonna hit it. And so, for all the engagement you guys gave, for all the encouragement you guys gave, and even for the people that are like, you can't do this, thank you for that. Because it really pushed me to put myself in position to do it. And I hope I get more of it, because it's only giving me more fuel to burn off. Thank you guys for all the support and help and love and engagement. And, you know, work towards the goals that you have, because they are achievable and you can do them. You just gotta believe in yourself first and put the work in. So, I'll see you guys later.
Still to be happy about.
You're up 2-0.
Job's not finished. Job finished? No, I don't think so.